especially if you're looking to launch a career, get with everybody who you've ever worked with in the past. Start making those connections because once you make those connections, on social media, Facebook and LinkedIn primarily, then you're going to be able to see how you may be able to mesh with companies that might be out there, people that are out there. People will hire people just because you're connected with somebody else.
Welcome to the 7 Eagle Group podcast, your home for inspiring stories, valuable tips, and great advice from hard-charging veterans so you can lead a more rewarding and lucrative post-military career.
Yeah. Hey guys, so excited today to talk with David Maestas. He is a distinguished service member. He served in the Green Beret and Airborne Rangers, and since getting out has launched his own digital marketing agency. He's got a media company too, and this guy surely knows his stuff when it comes to digital media, everything from video to pay-per-click to email, you name it. He takes businesses and helps really enhance their digital profile. And just super excited to talk with you today, David. So thank you for coming on to share your story.
I greatly appreciate you having me come on, Jordy. I was really looking forward to this.
Awesome. Tell everyone how you got started with the military. Where'd you grow up? Why did you decide to join? And what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I grew up in Vermont. I've only known a couple other guys that ever joined the military from there, although I know there's a lot more. And I took a year off after high school, and then I decided, okay, I'll go to college. I went to college for a year, and I was bored out of my mind. Literally, I grew up in the backwoods of Vermont, running around the woods, cowboys, Indians, you name it, building survival, caves and stuff like that out there in Vermont. So at one point, I just realized, you know what, I'm going to join the military, and I'm going to join the Army, especially to be an Airborne Ranger. Actually, I saw a magazine cover of an Airborne Ranger, and that literally was the catalyst at the time that I walked right into the recruiter's office and said, I want to be an Airborne Ranger. And I signed up from that.
That's very cool. Where in Vermont did you grow up? What city?
Milton. So it's about 20 miles north of Burlington.
Okay. All right. Not far. I'm in Western Mass, so about half hour from the border.
Yeah.
Cool. And so what was your military experience like for you? How did you enjoy it? How do you think that made you into the person you are today?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, even from day one, getting off the bus and drill sergeants yelling at me, I was like, I was craving more discipline. I needed it as a young man, especially. So I got into the 2nd Ranger Battalion, and from there, of course, it's pretty strict and difficult as well. I made a lot of great friends, and did some great things. My first 3 years went by so fast. I thought, man, I'm going to do another 3 years, and really, I knew then and there that I was going to retire from the military.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that was basically around 94 that I came in. And I left about 2000, early 2000.
Good for you. Well, thank you for what you did there. And what was your transition like when you left?
Left the service? Well, I mean, technically you could say that I retired in 2014. So I left the Ranger Battalion, early 2000, moved on, ended up eventually in Special Forces.
Mm-hmm.
I started out as a engineer, demolition, moved on to what's called an 18 Fox, which is the intel analyst side for Special Forces, and eventually became a team sergeant of a team. And then I ended up taking a second team before I retired in 2014. So when I retired, I had a job all lined up to go to work right away. Good 6-figure job. So the day I actually was my retirement day, I called the company. I said, hey, I'm ready. Where do I got to go? What do I got to do? And they said, hey, we're sorry, but we gave your job to somebody else this week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they said, but don't worry, your job, we got another job, same position, everything, is in 6 months. And I thought, what the heck am I going to do for 6 months?
Yeah.
I'm going to burn through my savings, by doing
Yeah.
that. Am I going to look for a part-time job, something? So, I did what anybody else would do and decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own t-shirt company.
That's awesome. Up in
Yep.
Vermont, you did that, or?
No, I was in Washington State at the time. So I was actually with First Special Forces Group. So 15 of my 20 years was actually in Washington State at Joint Base Close McCord.
Oh, nice. What kind of t-shirt were you selling?
I was just selling, regular T-shirts that the military style,
Yeah.
American Apparel, next level sort of T-shirts, and I would, print. I had a lot of military
Slogans and stuff.
logos
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But excuse me, the bigger money really in it for me was doing custom work for people.
Yeah. What an experience, though. You got to jump right into the entrepreneurial world. I'm sure that was probably scary and fun at the same time, huh?
It was, and that was the big thing that also made me realize that I better learn marketing, otherwise I'm going to have a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I paid a lot of money for marketing. Newspapers, never got any results from it. So I just thought I better learn marketing. And the next thing I know, I'm, launching an agency and been, working at it since.
That's awesome. Tell everyone a little bit about about the firm. It's called Disco Maestro. Do I have that right?
Discover Maestro. Yep.
Discover Maestro. Why did I say disco? Mamma mia. I wrote it down correctly. Discover. Disco Maestro would not be a good one.
That's cool. I'm gonna use that. I'm literally gonna write that down here and brand that Disco
Friday
Maestro.
Nights. Disco Maestro. Anyways, so Discover Maestro. Tell everyone a little bit about the type of work you do, the clients. You do a lot now. You focus a lot on the military community, or all of it on the military, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I work a lot with both military and civilians. A lot of the work I do for veterans or military pretty much is free. I advise them, some of the best ways they can go about doing their digital marketing so that they're not spending tons of money on things that they don't need to. There's a lot of things that people can do themselves.
Yeah.
And so with just a little push, help them to get it moving so they start generating a lot more revenue. And once they start generating a lot more revenue, then give me a call and I can help them, organize things a little bit more. But from the digital marketing standpoint, I've done it all myself. I've managed social media, again, pay-per-click ads. I actually became a Yelp ads partner about 8 or 9 years ago, and that allowed me to get a lot of insight into what they're doing, and especially a lot of SEO work. Mm-hmm. So, SEO side, we do a lot of stuff. But with partnering with Yelp, that also gave me the idea for the media side of what we're doing. And I started building directory style websites for cities, counties, military bases. AmericanVeteranBusiness.com is mine. We're really starting to move that one forward as well. But overall, let's see, 2023, I had 40 million views that went to my sites. And then we got about 300,000 people that follow on social media across the country and our different platforms.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. And what are your plans for the business? Are you open to grow it to something different? You like the space you're in now?
I like the space I'm in now. And we have some cutting edge technologies that, I could announce actually tonight. That is going to change the digital marketing world, in that, if somebody is Googling your business, or Google's plumber near me, I will know by zip code who those people are. And then I can tell my contacts, hey, this guy's looking for a plumber. So instead of them actually having to contact you, which you're normally waiting for people to contact you, now when people are just Googling you, I know who you are. And, it's just technology. It's the future and the way things are going.
No, that's great, man. Good for you. What advice would you have, David, for other service members and vets who are looking to launch their careers? Anything you would advise them to do, to not do, to stay away from?
Especially if you're looking to launch a career out there right now, network like crazy. Get with everybody who you've ever worked with in the past. Start making those connections, because once you make those connections, and I'm primarily on social media, Facebook and LinkedIn primarily. Then you're going to be able to see how you may be able to mesh with companies that might be out there, people that are out there. People will hire people just because you're connected with somebody else.
Right.
So it's good to get connected as much as possible, and do some volunteer work. Do something good for the community out there.
Yeah, I like when you said you help other veteran-owned businesses get their feet under them and learn some basic strategies, because who knows, maybe one of those will take off and they're going to look to you when they want to, increase their presence on digital and don't want to do it themselves. So,
well, I win both ways. And when I say that, I win that I got to help them to be successful. And so if they don't call me to help them out with something more, I'm still going to look at that and see their success and be happy to know that, I helped to bring, to do as much as I could to help them at that time. So,
yeah, that's terrific, man. Good for you. One of the things we do here at Seven Eagle Group is we like to encourage or educate as much as possible, inform might be a better word, service members and vets about the opportunities that are available to them if they go down a career of sales or revenue generating. And as a business owner, it's with your t-shirt company and now your digital marketing company, you're the one selling, right? And there's no business if you're not bringing in new clients. Can you talk a little bit about how that career path, or having that as a component of your career path, where you learn those skills to generate revenue, how important that can be for somebody, no matter what they end up doing?
Yeah, I would actually say that salesmanship is a learned skill, and it is something that everybody should be taught. And in fact, I believe it should be taught in high schools.
Yeah.
Because with sales, you're able to influence people to buy, especially the things that you have a passion about. Right. And especially if you are going to get a job, the one most important thing that you're most passionate about is yourself. You've got to be able to sell yourself. You've got to be able to sell your skills and how everything can apply to their company and how you can bring value to their company. So if you don't know how to sell yourself, especially, you're going to have a difficult time. But at some point, you're always selling something. So salesmanship is one of those things that I tell everybody. And I'll tell you, like for myself, I'm actually a gold protege of an international sales company. And what that, the reason I actually did that and took this course and got involved was my clients, I would bring them tons of leads and they couldn't ever close the deals. And so when they couldn't close the deals, they told me that I was bringing them bad leads. And I'm like, man, I would literally say, hey, let's sit down, tell me what happened with your meeting. And I would go through their whole, sales process. And I would know right away, this is the issues that we're having is you don't know how to close the deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, literally now for an actual client of mine, in order for them to work with me, they actually have to take our course on sales. So
that's great. It's
huge.
That. Yeah. What advice, David, would you give to a business owner who is considering hiring a military veteran? What does a vet bring to that guy's company to give them a competitive edge?
Yeah, the first thing's always is going to be discipline. That person in the military has learned to be disciplined and persevere through a lot of difficult times and a lot of hardships, and be able to learn how to work with others, no matter what. I mean, from my point of view, 20 years in the military, I did not see racism in the military. I didn't see sexism in the military. I didn't see any of that stuff. Everybody, was always focused on, in the Army, everybody's the same. Everybody's green. So the really big value of what they bring, though, is that they have an ability to improvise and adapt, overcome, and find solutions to problems. They're problem solvers.
Yeah.
They're true problem solvers. So most people think of military as robots and stuff like that, but man, you're looking when you're thinking about survival, you're being creative to make sure that you can survive, and that's whether you're flying an aircraft or you're on the ground.
Yeah, no doubt. Great advice. David, thank you so much for spending a few minutes to tell everyone about your path, and anyone out there any businesses who can use David's service, check out discovermaestro.com. Anyone who just wants to chat, he's a great guy, as you can see, and find him on LinkedIn. We'll put his link in the post here so you can connect with him. And thanks again, buddy. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jordy, for having me. I greatly enjoyed it.